Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson on bacteria. This is the first lesson in our unit on microorganisms. Microorganisms are extremely small living organisms. Most are unicellular, which means they are single-celled organisms. However, some do contain more than one cell. In this unit, we will identify the main groups of microorganisms and learn the structure and function of each group. We will start by studying bacteria. Are you ready to begin, students? Bacteria can be found just about everywhere. They are in the air and in the water. They are also inside and outside your body. Bacteria can be found in freezing climates, such as in the Arctic, or in hot places, like the Amazon. Throughout today's lesson, we will look at bacterial cell structure. Shall we begin with a review activity? Students, in grade 11, you studied the structure of plant and animal cells. You were introduced to the terms eukaryotic cells and prokaryotic cells. Spend the next few minutes recalling what you learned about these cells. Write down the information you remember, and I will see you in a few minutes.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. I hope you were able to recall some information. The most important thing to know about these cells is that eukaryotic cells have a nucleus and prokaryotic cells do not have a nucleus. Is your answer similar to this? If so, good work. Bacteria are prokaryotic cells. The bacteria chromosome, or DNA, is actually separated from the rest of the cell and forms an unbroken loop within the cytoplasm. Let us look at the structure of a bacterium. As you can see in the diagram, bacterium has a cell wall. Unlike plant cell walls, which are made of cellulose, bacteria cell walls are made from a substance called peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan is the material that makes the outside of the bacterial cell rigid. It is important to note that all bacteria have a cell wall, a cell membrane, cytoplasm, ribosomes, and DNA. The cell membrane is a sac-like structure that encloses the contents of the cell. It also acts as a barrier to hold nutrients and other essential components of the cytoplasm within the cell. Since bacteria cells are prokaryotes, they do not contain membrane-bound organelles in their cytoplasm. The capsule and the flagellum, which we can see in the diagram, are structures that are actually not common in all bacteria cells. Although bacteria are microscopic, they still vary in size. They are much smaller than eukaryotic cells, and they range in length from 1 to 10 micrometers. Eukaryotic cells are between 10 to 100 micrometers. Micrometer is a microscopic measurement used to express 1/1000th of a millimeter. Let us continue on with the lesson and look at the variety of bacteria shapes. Bacteria can be found in 3 main shapes: cocci, bacilli, and spirochetes. Cocci are spherical shaped. Bacilli are rod shaped. Spirochetes are spiral or corkscrew shaped. Here are some examples of each shape. Chlamydia trachomatis is the bacteria that causes the sexually transmitted disease chlamydia. This is an example of the cocci bacteria. Bacillus cereus is an example of bacilli bacteria. This is common soil-dwelling bacterium. Borrelia burgdorferi causes Lyme disease. This is an example of spirochetes bacterium. Recently, biologists began investigating the reason certain bacteria have specific shapes. Also, the biologists investigated whether some bacterium shapes are better equipped to move and grow compared to other shapes. This is still an ongoing study, but biologists have inferred that the shape of bacteria does, in fact, enhance a bacterium's ability to grow and develop. Students, let us do an activity to quiz our knowledge so far. You will see a diagram of a bacterium cell. Make a simple drawing of the diagram in your notebook and then label the structures that we reviewed today.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, students. I am sure that you successfully completed this activity. This is what your diagram should look like. Did you label all the structures correctly? If you missed any of these structures, please see teacher for assistance at the end of the lesson. We have time for one more activity, students. Please draw the 3 shapes of bacteria and label each drawing with the correct name of the shape.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up! Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, everyone. How did you do? This is what your drawings should look like. Cocci are bacteria that are round. Bacilli are bacteria that are rod-shaped. Spirochetes are bacteria that are spiral or corkscrew-shaped. I am sure your drawings look very similar to these. This brings us to the end of our lesson. Today was our first lesson in our unit on microorganisms. We studied the structure and shape of bacteria. I hope everyone enjoyed this lesson. Until next time, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.